one of my big things is to say that having the conversation is enough. Like
Yeah.
that is enough. If you are initiating conversation on this subject matter, that is an act of anti-racism.
Mm-hmm.
What does anti-racism mean for you, and how does future Robin? How do you want future Robin to show up and show caring and anti-racism as a value in your life?
Mm. Yeah. So the first part of that, like for me, anti-racism is it's a couple parts. It's a willingness to say what experiences I have that can help to fight, whether it's stereotypes, um, conversations that people have that are feeding those stereotypes, or I often say, like, if you're in a conversation with someone and they say something that's racist, you are going in that moment to have the courage to say, well, that's not accurate, or that's not true about, or just combating the racism that shows up in everyday conversations. um that's one way to be anti-racist in your everyday life, not letting those kind of, like we say, microaggressions happen, where it's like someone will say something, it's just a joke or whatever, like you don't let those moments pass. There's also the willingness to say, and for me, like, am I ever, are there things that I need to unpack for myself? Any kind of prejudices that I've held on to, whether it's internalized racism against my own people, like, do I have anything against my own people that I need to kind of root out? And then, any other demographics, like, there's all different ways that can play out. Um, and then and yeah, giving for me personally, like giving of my resources, having these conversations, like being willing to go into it, and even say things that don't always make me look great, but like, just kind of unpacking where I've been and where I'm trying to head. um I'd love to, I've tried to have more courage about sharing things like this openly. There's there's actually, if I can do a quick plug, there's a book called The Religion of Whiteness, and it's kind of academic, and but someone contacted me about our experiences actually at that church and getting fired over racial reconciliation efforts. And so my story is in that book as a little example. It's not under my name. They used a pseudonym, which is fine. But my story's in that book, and that whole book is all about how whiteness has just become this religion, that's kind of replaced. It's a false Christianity. And so, like, just having more courage to read things like that and to really dive into that. And I mean, for me and my husband both, we've been, I mean, I still, like, suffer from some moments of a kind of white Christian supremacist attitude, like, and I have to be willing to look at that in myself and unpack those things from who I am and how that's harmed people, including myself. Um, so yeah, I know those are the things that I'm trying to do more of, the work that I do. There are more groups that, there are more resources than I think there has ever been, which is good. I mean, I hope you're finding that too. Like, I mean, even just you, like, you have resources for people to use, and I think,
Yeah, and I'm creating more. And like you said,
and
there's
yeah,
tons of
yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you so much for sharing that book.
yeah.
The link is in the chat for anybody who wants to take a look at that book and read more about that. Yeah, that's excellent. And it just highlights a couple points that I just want to reiterate here at the end, which is it really doesn't take a lot in order to support people who are making change. Okay. And it can literally start with you individually. by reflecting on your own internalized racism, as we've talked about during this conversation. Everyone needs to do it, because the truth is, if you haven't done it, the chances that there's something to unravel are very close to 100%. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, that is the unfortunate reality. I think it's a reality a lot of people don't believe. I think a lot of people, it's more comfortable for them to believe that racism is a thing of the past, or
Yeah.
close to being a thing of the past. But that couldn't be further from the truth. It's not going to change until all of us together, individually and together and collectively, decide to make a change. So it starts with you, and then after that, all you've got to do is try to have the conversation, spread it a little bit to others, share your own personal evolution of race consciousness with other people when the moment arises, okay? Try not to vilify people who maybe show ignorance, inadvertent racism. Try not to vilify people who show actual racism, but confront, you absolutely should confront these people if you feel comfortable. But keep your safety in mind, and support those champions who you find to be good champions of the values that you believe in terms of anti-racism. If someone's doing the work that you think is good work, make sure that you go ahead and give them your support in whatever way that is, or just even send them a message and say, hey, I like what you did there. That can really give people a bigger boost than you know. I know for myself, I started this from scratch. I started the channel. I'm not good with technology. Had to figure out how to live stream. Had to figure out how to set all this stuff up, use all these different programs. I pay for all these different, Vimeo to store my videos, and Zoom to do the thing, and this app to do that, and blah, blah, blah. And my website, created a whole website for it. And it's been 4 years now of having over 120 live conversations here on the channel on race. So I just appreciate you, Robin, deciding to come on for one of these. And it's been a real pleasure listening to your story. Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support, and see you next time.